Okay, this video is about how to fade in and fade out objects by using a button. So this blue box is called a button, and so when I click on my left mouse, this green box is going to fade away. So it fades away. Now, when I click on the blue box using my right mouse button, it's going to fade in the green box. Then I can click on the green box and make it just go away. Then I can click on the middle button on the mouse, bring back the one that's going to fade away when I press on the left press mouse for the button, fades away. Right press, fades in, left press, fades away. So let me show you how I did that. So the first thing is I have a object fade start for the green box because it's basically a placeholder for the most part. So when I click on the blue box, it's going to switch this placeholder, this object fade start, to the fade out. So click it. So when I left click the mouse, it's going to switch the object fade start, which is this green box, to the object fade out. And perform yes. So it's going to do this fade out box. So in the create coded sheet, it's going to state fade equals 1, semicolon, speed equals 0, semicolon. So it's going to fade very slow at a speed of 1. Well, speed is 0, but it's going to fade slowly. That's what it's pretty much stating here. Oh, okay. So this right here is like the setup. This is like the setup state for the fade. So at the beginning, this is how it's set up here. So at the beginning, you don't want it to fade, correct? So you're not going to do anything. You're not doing anything, right? So the speed is going to be set to 0. It's kind of like the index, object index. You want to set it to like 0 because you don't want it to animate, because you have like maybe 5-6 images in one object, and you want it to stay at image 0, so you put a speed of 0. So that's what's happening here. You're keeping the green box at 0, so it's not going to do any fade. But when you click on the button, the blue button, it's going to fade slowly at 1 speed. So you have a step event in here, and well, actually, this is the slow. This is the slow speed. Not sure why they have this fade equals 1 in here. That I would think that would be 0. Let me see something. I don't know why that would be at 1. See, it jumps. See, it jumps completely. So you don't want it to jump. So I guess you have to have it at 1. You have to set it up to seeing 1. That way, I guess the computer knows it's going to be like a fade or something. So you have to have it set up to 1. Then in your step event, you're going to have a fade minus equals 0.02. So this is basically the speed of how fast it's going to fade. And then you have the image alpha, which is equal to fade, which means the computer is saying, okay, it's going to do a slight fade. That's what this image alpha means. It's going to completely be invisible. That's what this code's stating. And then if visible, if the fade is at equals 0, which is it's not there anymore, it's going to be destroyed. So that's what's happening here. So that's how you fade out. That's the code for that. And set it itself. This one's set to self as well. Alright. Then when you click on the blue button on the left, the right, you're just going to have do a create instance in the image 1 tab here, main 1 tab. You're going to have object fade in, XY coordinates at 350 by 160, because that's what is going to be in this location right here. You see at the bottom of the screen, you have your origin here. I want it in this location, so you get those coordinates there and plug them into the create instance. So that way it'll be in this location, the box. So that's the coordinates here, 350 by 160. Do not set it to relative. Okay, so now the instance for that box to come in is going to be right here. Actually, fade in, sorry. So do a create instance. Now for the fade in, you want to make sure the fade is at 0. The speed is at 0. So in this situation, we're going to do a fade in. So you want to make sure they're set to 0. Remember the fade out, the fade was at 1. But the fade in is going to be set to 0. Speed 0. For the step event, you're going to do a fade plus equals 0.02. So just you're doing the opposite, because with the fade out you had it minus equals, this is at plus, and you have image alpha equals fade. So it's telling the computer it's going to fade in, and then I guess I could have had a destroy down here, but I added it in here with the, so when if I click on, well, yeah, I don't want to have it in the code destroy here, because I don't want it to destroy when it comes in. So I want it to destroy when I click on the button. So if I click on the green box, then it's going to be destroyed itself. So I'll fade in, and then if I choose to destroy it, I click on the green box and it gets destroyed. So that's pretty simple. So it's kind of similar to the fade out, but the fade out had a 1 here, not a 0. And then with the step event, the fade out had a minus equals. This one has a plus equals. And the fade out also had the destroy as well, because you want it to destroy, you don't want it to still linger around. So you want it set to 0. Once the fade goes to 0, which is transparent by that point, it's going to be destroyed. And that's pretty much it. I think, see on the, yep, I already talked about everything. Oh, and if you did a middle press event for the click button, it's going to restart. So it's going to restart this this box here where it's going to fade out or fade in. See, when I click on it, it's going to fade out. So I left clicked the mouse, it went away, and then when I press the middle button on the mouse, on the actual button, it's going to just pop right in. It's not going to fade in, it's going to pop right in. You probably could make it fade in. Try to do that real quick, but yeah, you would have to have another box probably. I'm not gonna try it, but you could do it where you could have both codes in one object to make it fade in and fade out. But I think one with the load to create your own image box for loading. Like a couple of previous videos I did before, you could use that as a fade in box. Instead of just making it pop in, you could do a fade in and say where basically state that there's no load file. So instead of it just jumping in like I had it, you could have a fade in with the load message coming up saying there's no file. That's one way you could do it. One instance you could do with your game using the fade in technique. Or I guess maybe a sky, change, make the sky fade in and fade out a different color or something. Alright, thanks for watching.